Hello everyone, this is part 3 of What If Naruto Meets the Nine Tails Early, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, to see more comment down below. Now let's start the intro.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Team 7 met up early the next morning at Training Ground 7. Naruto, Sakura, Sasuke, and their new teammate, Haku, arrived at the normal 9 a.m. time. Like always, Kakashi was a few hours late, showing up around 11 a.m. "You're late," the older members of Team 7 shouted in unison. "Sorry, but you see, a black cat crossed my path and I felt that I should take the long way to avoid any unfortunate happenings," Kakashi said. No one believed him. "Anyways, the main thing I want to do is get the four of you used to working together. Also, I want to see what Haku is capable of." Haku agreed to show the team some of his techniques. They already knew about his Hyoten, demonic ice mirrors, so he decided to move on to his other main ice technique, Hyoten, Ice Dome. That jutsu turned out to be a defensive jutsu that created a dome around Haku. Kakashi decided to test out the ice dome's strength. Much to his surprise, it withstood a good beating, requiring some of Kakashi's more powerful techniques to break the defense. Even though the team already knew about Haku's accuracy, they were still impressed at just how accurate he was using Senbon. Although Kakashi tried to convince him to use a more powerful weapon, Haku stuck by using the Senbon as he had the skill required to effectively use them. The only other techniques that Haku was able to use were the Suten, sharp water needles, and another low-level water-type technique. Still, Kakashi was impressed that someone so young could already make use of two elements. At the same time, this worried him because he could see Naruto and Sasuke becoming more and more jealous of Haku's abilities. The two of them finally cracked. "Kakashi-sensei, teach us a cool jutsu or something," Naruto said. "We've already passed the water walking exercise and now it's time you teach us something useful." For once, both Sasuke and Sakura actually agreed with him. Kakashi closed his eyes and began thinking for a moment. "All right, I suppose the three of you have shown me that you are ready to begin some ninjutsu training. Let's call it an early day. I'll go to the jutsu library and pick out a jutsu for each of you that I feel best suits you. Now here's the deal, I'll give you the entire morning to work on them, but you will be doing whatever missions we get in the afternoon without complaining. Do we have a deal?" "Yes," Naruto shouted out. Sasuke and Sakura quickly responded as well. "Oh man, this is great. Finally, a new jutsu." Later that evening, the team met up for dinner as was suggested by Kakashi. "So Haku, tell us a little about yourself," Sakura asked. "Huh, what do you mean?" the new member said. "Well, you didn't live in Konoha and it sounds like you were traveling a lot. I'm sure you must have some interesting stories," the pink-haired Kanoiki explained. "Well, I guess I could tell you about me," Haku said as the rest of the team listened in. Haku began to tell his story. "I was born in a small village in the northern part of the Land of Water. It got cold enough there that it would snow a lot, which I guess could be why I can use ice style. It was a peaceful village despite the fact that our nation was at war. My father was a normal man, no shinobi training. He preferred to live a simple life as a farmer. One day, he met my mother and they fell in love. My mother seemed like a normal woman, although she used to be a shinobi. She was able to keep her abilities hidden due to the fact that the people of my village hated ninja. They saw them as responsible for the recent civil war and wanted nothing to do with them. To be with my father, my mother gave up her life as a ninja and settled down. Shortly after, I was born. At first, my father wasn't sure if I was a boy or girl because of my appearance, but my mother quickly explained that it was a common trait amongst her family that even the males had a feminine look to them. Everything was fine until I was 5. One day, I showed my mother something that I thought was cool and amazing. It was my height and abilities. I thought I saw a little bit of happiness in her eyes, but I was scolded for doing so. I guess she didn't want me using it, fearing that it would cause problems within our family." Haku trailed off into silence. Sakura could tell something was wrong and told Haku that he didn't have to say anything else. However, Haku shortly resumed the story, saying that it would be best for the team if they knew everything about his past. "Despite her efforts to conceal my newfound abilities, my father had already witnessed what had happened. I don't know what drove him to so what he did next, but I think it was because he was afraid I would become a ninja or that the villagers were afraid of the powers I possessed. Haku took a short pause before continuing on. He gathered a mob of villagers and killed my mother. He then turned to me. I could see sadness in his eyes, but at the same time I could see fear. I could feel that he didn't want to do what he was doing, but the fear drove him. Looking over at my mother, lying dead next to me, I lost control of my power and encased the entire mob in ice, effectively killing them. Naruto stared wide-eyed at Haku. To his surprise, what Haku had experienced was similar to his childhood. He was certain that the villagers did not hate him, but they feared what was sealed inside him, the Kyuubi. Haku, I'm sorry that happened to you. Believe me, I know how you feel, the blonde-haired ninja said. I cannot explain why, but for some reason the villagers wanted nothing to do with me. Even now, they harass me. The rest of Team 7 had no idea what Naruto's childhood was truly like. I suppose the only one who could relate the best with Naruto was Sasuke, but even then it wasn't quite the same. Naruto told a few things about his own childhood, how the village hated him, how a mob was formed on his birthday each year, and how most of the village wished he was either gone or dead. He didn't reveal the reason for it, but he knew why they hated him. He had first realized the night when Mizuki had him steal the Forbidden Scroll. After that, the Sandaime had told Naruto a few more details on the secret that Mizuki had spilled. I'm sorry you had it like that. What are you going to do? Haku asked. I'm going to show them the real me. Even though they treat me like shit sometimes, I know that they are good people and I just need to show them that I will protect them, Naruto said. Haku was inspired by the boy's resolve. It's my dream. I will become Hokage and with that, the entire village will recognize me. I see. It seems like me, you have found some precious people that have already saved you from the hell that is loneliness, said Haku. Yeah, I found a few people willing to recognize like the old man Hokage, Iruka-sensei, Kakashi-sensei, Sakura, and even the team over there. He doesn't admit it, but I see the way he looks at me when we train together. He acknowledges that I am there and we use each other to push ourselves further, Naruto explained. Kakashi and Sakura thought what he was saying was sweet. Sasuke just shrugged it off, but the idiot was right. I am glad, because I also found someone who saw me as something more, Haku said. Zabuza. Sakura responded. Yes, and with that, Haku resumed his story. I was orphaned for about a few months. Even though it was cold outside due to the snow, my bloodline protected me. Then one day, I met Zabuza. At first, he just looked at me with pity, but then I saw in his eyes that he felt the same loneliness that I did. After that meeting, I joined him in his quest. After some time, he asked me to become his weapon, to serve as a shinobi with him. Before I met him, I lost my purpose in life. However, when he asked me to become a shinobi, it's as if he gave me a new purpose to live. I gladly accepted. Over the next couple of years, he trained me in the way of the shinobi and I eventually became his weapon. However, I will admit that I never liked the killing that came with it. That explains why you didn't kill Naruto and Sasuke back in the Land of Waves, Kakashi realized. He had a few other questions regarding that battle, but decided to hold them off for a better day. Sasuke wasn't happy by the fact that Haku had been holding back against them. He made a promise to himself to defeat Haku in their next rematch. Haku had a little more of his story to tell. We traveled together, picking up jobs like the one we had in the Land of Waves. During our journey, I remember meeting a man by the name Kimimaro. I remember him because I felt the same loneliness and sadness inside him that I once felt. I even offered for him to come along with us, but he refused, claiming he had to find his own way. I haven't seen him since, but I would sure like to know how he's been. Shortly after, we were given a job by Gato and that leaves us where we currently are, in Konoha, becoming a team. Wow, it seems like you've lived a rough and confusing life, Sakura said. Yes, I guess you could say so, but everything is now. Before these past few days, I even felt that Zabuza was looking for a purpose in life, however your village appears to have given him another chance to start over. He will never admit it, but I think he is truly grateful. Although he is already mad that there are Anbu following him everywhere, Kakashi just smiled at Haku's last comment. The next morning, the new Team 7 awaited Kakashi at the training ground. He had promised them cool new jutsu and they were going to get it. The only question now was how late would Kakashi be? Surprisingly, he was only about 45 minutes late this morning, a new record for him. All right. As promised, I went to the library this morning while you were doing your mission and I picked out some jutsu that I think you all should find useful, Kakashi said. He then handed a scroll to Naruto. Seeing as you can already use the shadow clone jutsu, I thought this would be perfect for you. Naruto opened the scroll and saw a jutsu. He read, Shuriken Shadow Clone Jutsu, a rank. He was ecstatic at the jutsu Kakashi picked out, seeing that it was an A-rank technique. But he was a little curious as to what it did. Kakashi-sensei, what does this jutsu do and why is it considered an A rank? Naruto asked. Good of you to ask, Naruto. The reason it's a rank is because of the requirement of knowing the shadow clone jutsu, a B rank technique typically taught to Jonin ninja. What it does, is it makes shadow clones of your shuriken, Kakashi explained. Naruto was a little deflated upon hearing this. That's it, he shouted. I thought you were going to give me something useful. If I wanted shadow clones of my shuriken, I would just make shadow clones and have them throw their shuriken. Kakashi sighed. It's not like that. Imagine the difference between one shuriken coming at you and dozens, even hundreds of shuriken coming at you. Naruto thought about what Kakashi said. Well, one shuriken isn't much and it can be easily blocked, but a lot of shuriken, well, Naruto said. With a lot of shuriken, your first thought is to get out of the way, as the more there are, the more difficult it is to block them. Now imagine if you could throw one shuriken at your enemy, but hit them with over 30 inches with that. Kakashi pulled out a few shuriken and threw it at a training post. Shuriken Shadow Clone Jutsu, he shouted. Just before the shuriken hit the post, they copied itself into about 100 shuriken. Now the post was filled with metal shuriken impaled in it. Naruto's jaw dropped and Kakashi just smiled. If timed correctly, it is a very useful and deadly move. Kakashi then handed a scroll to Sasuke. Kaiten, Dragon Fire Breath. Sasuke said, reading the description. B rank. Unlike your great fireball jutsu, this attack utilizes a constant stream of flames. Also, the range is greater, about double of your jutsu, and the flame is hotter, Kakashi said. Haku, if you could make a mirror. With that, Haku made an ice mirror. Kakashi used the great fireball jutsu on it. The fireball made contact and burst into flames. Afterwards, the mirror was still intact and only a few drops of water rolled down. The problem with your jutsu is that it's not powerful enough and it isn't sustained. Alright, so this jutsu is more powerful? Sasuke asked. Yes. It's at least 3 to 4x more powerful of a fire than your Kaiten, great fireball jutsu. Now watch, Kakashi said, forming the hand seals for the Kaiten, Dragon Fire Breath. He sent a stream of flames towards the mirror. Unlike the fireball, this attack was sustained for many seconds, and when Kakashi was finished, most of the mirror had melted. Sasuke just stared at the mirror and smiled. Now this is what he had wanted. Kakashi handed a scroll to Haku. Now this technique is a water-style jutsu, but I'm sure you can find some way to make an ice-style jutsu from it. Haku read the scroll, Suiten, Water Whip, C rank, it read. Kakashi thought on the jutsu and performed it after a few minutes. A whip of water extended towards the training post, wrapping it up. It's not that powerful of a jutsu, but even I can see some potential for it to be greatly improved if you can incorporate your ice style into it. Haku gratefully accepted the task. Kakashi turned to Sakura. You were a little more difficult, but after analyzing your strengths, I think you would be better off learning a type of genjutsu, Kakashi said, handing her a scroll. And this technique reminded me a lot about you. Sakura opened the scroll and read, Cherry Blossom Blizzard. She now knew what Kakashi was talking about. Kakashi-sensei, what exactly is the point of genjutsu? Naruto asked. Well, if an opponent uses a genjutsu on you, she basically takes control of your chakra, disrupting their senses, unlike ninjutsu and taijutsu, which focuses on dealing physical harm to your opponent. Now genjutsu can either be illusionary or offensive. This one happens to be illusionary, but an offensive genjutsu has the potential to do some major mental damage, Kakashi said. Don't panic. I am now going to use this genjutsu on you. Kakashi activated the genjutsu and suddenly the 4 genin were enveloped in a blizzard of cherry blossoms. Soon, they all began to feel something tapping them on their back, but when they turned, there was nothing there but more cherry blossoms. Kakashi then came up behind Sakura and put a blunt knife to her neck and cancelled the genjutsu. Don't worry Sakura, the knife wasn't sharp, Kakashi said as Sakura was rubbing her neck where the knife was. If you noticed, I tapped you all multiple times but when you looked, you saw nothing, correct? The four genin nodded. Now imagine if every time I tapped you, I was actually stabbing you with a knife. They soon got what Kakashi was talking about. The strength of a genjutsu depends on two things, the actual strength of the technique and the ability of the caster. A genjutsu master can make the weakest genjutsu stronger than the most powerful genjutsu if it were used by a novice. While I am proficient in genjutsu, if you need some expert advice, Sakura, I suggest you ask Kurenai Yuhi, sensei of Team 8. The four of them nodded at their sensei for the techniques that he gave them. Kakashi sensei, speaking of genjutsu, there is a way to counter genjutsu. Are you going to show us how? Sasuke asked. I will, but why don't you work on these jutsu and I'll teach you how to counter genjutsu next week, Kakashi said. Inside his head, he was laughing at his brilliance. This should keep Naruto and Sasuke quiet for a few weeks. Yes, he had purposefully given Naruto and Sasuke a high-level jutsu so that they would stop pestering him, and this way, so long as they played along like good little genin, everything would run smoothly for a few weeks at least. With Naruto, he heard a voice begin to speak inside his head. Naruto, Kurama said to him. Since we are on the topic of genjutsu, there is something I must tell you regarding the subject. I was able to be controlled by genjutsu, but now that you and I are working together, it should have little to no effect on us. Why is that? Naruto asked the demon in his head. Basically, to disrupt a genjutsu, it requires a disruption in your chakra flow. If you are in a genjutsu, I can provide a small burst of chakra, which should dispel it. It's one of the few things I can help you out with, given the current condition of this seal. Alright, that sounds good, Naruto responded. With that, Naruto returned to reality. The rest of the afternoon was spent practicing their jutsu. As expected, this jutsu quickly turned into a rivalry match between Naruto and Sasuke and the two began diving headfirst into their new jutsu. The agreed conditions were that Naruto would have to produce a dozen shuriken from one shuriken, the equivalent of what Kakashi had done in the demonstration, and that wasn't the best Kakashi could do, and Sasuke had to be able to melt one of Haku's ice mirrors. Are you all in position? Called a voice over the wireless headset. I'm in position, called a feminine voice. I'm ready, called a slightly bored voice. I'm ready, called a new and kind of excited voice. Why the hell are we doing this mission again, sensei? Shouted a very loud voice. Because, Naruto, these D ranks build teamwork and we need to incorporate Haku into this team. Besides, don't you remember the deal we made? Reminded Kakashi. Fine. Let's just get this over with, said the now defeated Naruto. Alright, on 3, 1, 2, 3, go. With that, the four genin of Team 7 dove onto their target, a certain cat wearing a red ribbon. Yes, unfortunately for every genin of the village, the fire daimyo's wife was in town. Do you have the target? OWOWOWOWOW, screamed Naruto as the cat viciously clawed at his face. Sakura peeled the cat off and began stroking in the cat's sweet spot behind the ears that she had discovered the first time they had this mission, which instantly calmed the cat down. At the same time, inner Sakura was contemplating how much this secret of calming Tora down could be sold for. 3 days passed since Kakashi had given his genin their new jutsu. For Team 7, the daily schedule consisted of Naruto and Sasuke would usually arrive at the training grounds sometime between 7 to 8, Haku would show up not too much longer after and Sakura would show up by 9, after she finished fixing her hair and everything else that she felt she had to do to get Sasuke's attention. Kakashi said he would show up around 8:30 to help them, which meant he would normally show up around 10 to 10:30. At 12 o'clock, Team 7 would get a lunch break and then reconvene for a series of missions in the afternoon. This morning, Kakashi was sitting underneath a tree reading a book. He had just given Naruto and Sasuke some advice on their jutsu and the two had gone straight to work figuring it out. Silly genin, Kakashi said to himself. It'll take weeks, maybe even months for them to get those jutsu down. But, that means a good amount of time without them complaining about missions. Yeah, I've got it, shouted Naruto as Kakashi nearly choked on his words. Kakashi looked over at Naruto's training stump and saw 2 shuriken lodged in the post. Damn it, swore Sasuke to himself. I won't let you get ahead of me, Naruto. While Naruto had just gotten his shuriken to duplicate, Sasuke had yet to turn his fireball into a flamethrower. That is until he did the jutsu again. Sasuke concentrated the chakra in his lungs, building up as much as he could. He made the necessary hand seals and took a deep breath, mixing the molten fire chakra with the air in his lungs. Kaiten, Dragon Fire Breath Jutsu. Sasuke unleashed the fire in his lungs and a stream of flames were unleashed. This wasn't the previous fireball, this was a sustained stream of flames. Sasuke smirked at his progress, even if he didn't melt the ice. Kakashi stared on in amazement. They've already got the basics down. He thought. It should be at least another 2 weeks until Naruto could even make a single shuriken clone or Sasuke could generate a constant stream of flames. Of course, Naruto only made one shuriken and Sasuke's fire wasn't strong enough, but still. Now all that's left is for them to figure out how to pump more power into the jutsu. Sasuke was panting hard, having used up a lot of chakra with that last attempt, and Naruto wasn't looking too much better. Alright, I think you all have deserved a break, said Kakashi, standing up. You're all coming much farther than I initially expected. Why don't you grab lunch and I'll see you for missions later this afternoon? Sasuke, do you want to get lunch? Sakura asked. Like every other day, she was hoping Sasuke would say yes. I'd rather not, responded Sasuke. If you've got time to be bothering me, then you have time to be working on that jutsu Kakashi-sensei gave you. Sasuke left a deflated Sakura behind to go do whatever he did for lunch. Sakura, if you want you could come get some ramen with me, Naruto asked, trying to cheer his crush up. And why would I want to do that? Growled Sakura. Like every other day, Naruto had been rejected as well. Later that afternoon, Team 7 received their mission. It was a simple D rank again. While they wanted to complain, Naruto and Sasuke kept their mouths shut. There would be plenty of time for complaining when they got their jutsus down. However, Naruto was steadily getting tired of the D rank. After the mission in the waves, he had been hoping for at least another C rank, even if he felt he was ready for a B rank or something more. Kakashi-sensei, I know we promised not to complain and everything, but I don't suppose we could do something different than a D rank. I know we are ready for another one, asked Naruto after they had reported in. Yeah, come on sensei. Naruto's right. Right, Sasuke, replied Sakura. Even she was getting tired of the D ranks again. Today they had to help out on a farm and Sakura was probably dirtier than she had ever been, a feeling she was not enjoying all that well. The dope's right. I know we promised not to say anything, but we've completed the equivalent of an A-rank mission. These D ranks are just starting to get old again, responded Sasuke. Kakashi sighed. So much for the jutsu staving off the desire for something a little more. He looked over at Haku, who had just been smiling. Kakashi figured that Haku had just been putting a mask on and taking the D ranks. Perhaps. How about this, I'll reserve a C rank for a few days from now. I want to get Haku to 10 missions before we take on some longer mission, and I suspect a few more days of D ranks will get him there. Why does Haku need to get to 10 missions? Asked Sakura. It was just part of the requirement that Hokage-sama gave me when he assigned Haku to this team, said Kakashi. In reality, he needed to get Haku to the 10 mission minimum for the Chunin exams that were coming up in a few weeks. The council had requested that Sasuke and Haku specifically be able to compete in these exams. In reality, they were most likely trying to kiss up to the last two bearers of a rare bloodline. Fine, I suppose that will work, said Naruto. Good. Now the four of you are done for today, I'll go and reserve our mission for a few days. Just remember that you have tomorrow off. I'll be around sometime around noon to help you, if you wish to train a little, as there is something I need to do in the morning. Today was their day off and Naruto and Sasuke were hard at work competing against one another to complete their jutsu. Thankfully for them, they had the entire day to work. They both had the basic forms of the jutsu down. They just had to increase the power now. Although Sakura enjoyed her days off, she had decided to use this day to train as well, especially after what Sasuke had said to her. She had tried to talk to Sasuke after their mission, but he made a comment that was basically translated as she was below Naruto. Naruto was now pulling his own weight in the team and his abilities were rapidly growing to a point where they were easily above hers. Sadly, she realized Sasuke was correct. During the wave mission, she had done nothing more than stand in front of Tazuna while Sasuke, Naruto, and Kakashi-sensei did all the fighting. Also, Naruto and Sasuke were constantly training, pushing each other while she would do nothing but sit around and fantasize over Sasuke. Not to mention, she was smart and it wasn't long before she was beginning to realize that Sasuke didn't care for her fangirl attitude. From the sounds of it, he wanted her to not be a burden. Perhaps if she were to be the one to get her jutsu down. Sakura remembered that Kakashi told her to go and see Kurenai, teammate sensei, if she needed help on the genjutsu. Thankfully, today was one of teammates' training days and they weren't out on missions. Hey guys! Sakura shouted to Sasuke, Haku, and Naruto, but mostly to Sasuke. Sakura, Naruto asked, wondering what she was doing at the training ground on the day off. I thought this was your day off. It's okay Sakura, you don't have to come out here if you don't want to, Sasuke said smugly. Well, if you must know. I was talking to Kurenai-sensei about the genjutsu, and I think I have it, Sakura said, trying to impress Sasuke. She actually managed to get a little smile out of him. Alright then, go ahead and let's see, Sasuke said, challenging what she was saying. Sakura went through the necessary preparations for the genjutsu and cast it on her 3 teammates. Just like Kakashi, cherry blossoms swirled around them, greatly obscuring their vision. Sakura then proceeded to tap Sasuke repeatedly as Kakashi had done. After she cancelled the jutsu, she was congratulated by Naruto. She was hoping that it would have been Sasuke saying that, although she did get a nod of approval from him. Considering that this was Sasuke, she would take that for now. They proceeded to continue training. Although Sakura truly wanted to go home, she knew that she would never get closer to Sasuke this way, so she stayed and trained with her team. A few more days passed with Naruto and Sasuke making some progress on their jutsu. Tomorrow would be the day that Kakashi said that they would be getting a C-rank mission and they knew that today would be the best day to get their jutsu down. It was getting late and Naruto and Sasuke were running low on chakra. They were either going to get their jutsu now with this last attempt or they wouldn't have enough chakra for another attempt. Naruto and Sasuke took one look at each other, which basically said, watch this, I'm going to complete my jutsu with this last go. Haku nodded and made an ice mirror while Naruto pulled out a shuriken. Both of them focused, gathering their chakra for the upcoming jutsu. At the same time Sasuke unleashed his fine, Naruto let his shuriken go. After everything happened, Sasuke inspected the ice mirror that was no longer there and Naruto went to count the number of shuriken in the stump. As Sasuke had completed his goal, Naruto counted 14 shuriken in the stump, meaning he had accomplished his goal as well. Up until now, Sasuke had always been beating Naruto, even if just barely, but now, they had tied. Naruto was gaining on him. Sasuke didn't like it and he had to push himself so that the Dobe wouldn't beat him. Sasuke had to admit though, he probably would not have gotten his jutsu, his first B-rank jutsu, completed in the time that he did if it wasn't for Naruto pushing him. Even Kakashi had mentioned that he had expected that it should have taken him at least 2 weeks to get the first part of the jutsu, which was the fire stream. For Naruto, the first part was getting the first shuriken clone. However, he had the jutsu complete in just over a week, something Kakashi didn't even think was possible. He still didn't want to admit it, but perhaps he had found a worthwhile rival. Kakashi appeared the next morning outside the mission hall holding the C rank that he had promised his students. It was a delivery mission. A lord by the name of Fujiko Kazaka had purchased a sword from a local weapon shop in Konoha. The sword was an older katana, crafted by the legendary swordsmith Masamune a few centuries ago. The agent maker of the sword made it an incredibly valuable piece of work and both the seller and client were certain that there would be a few bandits along the delivery route. While the sword was valuable to a lord, it wasn't special in a shinobi sense, making it very unlikely that the sword would be targeted by a shinobi. As such, a C-rank mission was requested to deliver the sword and a team of genin who had survived a face-to-face encounter with Zabuza Momoichi, let alone one who studied under Zabuza, was expected to be more than enough protection for said mission. Kakashi-sensei, so what sort of cool mission are we doing today? Asked Naruto. It's a delivery mission, Naruto, responded Kakashi. What? A delivery mission? But you promised us a cool C-rank mission. All the delivery missions so far have been nothing but boring D ranks, complained Naruto. Kakashi just chuckled. This one's a little different. We have been assigned to deliver a valuable sword to Fujiko Kazaka, a lord in the northwestern part of the Land of Fire. While I don't expect any shinobi activity on this mission, the sword is valuable, and as such attractive to thieves and bandits. Now, go pack for about 3 days and meet me at the gates in an hour, said Kakashi. Team 7 accepted the mission without any more complaints. A few thieves was much better than catching a cat or milking a cow. A few hours after they left the village, any boredom Naruto may have accumulated was soon ridded from him as they encountered their first bandit attack. A group of bandits, roughly half a dozen, emerged from the forest and demanded that the traveling ninja hand over any valuables they were carrying. When Kakashi denied their request, the bandits followed through on their threat and charged at the genin. Within about 20 seconds, all 6 of the bandits were incapacitated. Kakashi was glad to see that one of his students had put their new jutsu to good use. Sakura had used her genjutsu on the bandit she was facing to distract the man while she delivered a strong punch to the bandit's cheek, knocking him against a tree and unconscious. Naruto and Sasuke had both beaten the bandits pretty good, although they had not used the jutsu Kakashi had given them, which was understandable as their jutsus carried the potential to kill. It was hard distinguishing Haku's bandit from the porcupine that had just run out of the bushes a second ago. Kakashi's two were handled with ease, even more so than he had done with the demon brothers. The team continued on with their mission, and the following day, they wandered upon the remainder of the bandits had shown up. This time, it was roughly 24 bandits that had descended upon them. Sasuke and Naruto took one look at each other before the action started. This was most definitely a competition between the two of them now. Naruto ducked underneath one attack, responding by nailing the bandit in the stomach with a strong punch. This gave him a little breathing room as he summoned a few shadow clones to aid him. The clones soon went to work overpowering most of the bandits that had decided to take on, as they saw it, that short and stupid-looking one. Boy were they mistaken when they were hit by the wave of orange. After he was finished with his bandits, Naruto looked over to see Sasuke sitting on top of a pile of battered, beaten, and burned bandits. 7. Declared Naruto. Sasuke growled, having only beaten 6. That was before he noticed a forgotten bandit sneaking up behind him. Sasuke swung his foot at high speed around, catching the bandit in the side of the head, knocking him into a tree. There, 7. Naruto and Sasuke smirked at each other, satisfied that the other wasn't giving up so easily. A few days passed and Team 7 had returned to Konoha by that time. Today was designated as a training day for the team as Kakashi said that he had something to do. After lunch, Team 7 had met in an alleyway, waiting for Naruto, who had apparently forgotten something. Sakura was stuck waiting for Naruto as Sasuke and Haku had left to go train. When Naruto came back, he noticed something out of place. Is that supposed to be a rock? Naruto thought to himself. He took a few steps forward, only for the rock to follow him. Even the fox inside Naruto's head was confused at the rock. What the hell is that? Said Kurama. Don't even ask, Naruto said to his inner demon, dropping his head. Coming back to reality, he turned to face the rock. What kind of rock is square with 2 holes? I can see right through that. Just what I would expect from my rival, the rock said as it exploded, revealing Konohamaru, Mogi, and Udon. Oh, it's just you, Konohamaru. So what do you want now? Naruto asked, trying to get away from the kids so he could train and not let Sasuke get so far ahead of him. Leader, are you free? Mogi asked, trying to make herself cute and irresistible, which really doesn't work too well on Naruto. Nope, I'm training, Naruto said. Meanwhile, Sakura was standing slightly behind him, watching the whole endeavor. What? But you promised that you would play ninja with us today. Konohamaru shouted out. Why would a ninja want to play ninja? Sakura asked, staring at the 3 kids with a look of annoyance. Hey bro, who is this girl? Konohamaru asked Naruto. She's starting at him like she wants to eat him alive, he thought. Konohamaru, got an idea in your head? Huh? Naruto asked, wondering what the kid was thinking. Not bad bro. She's your, he leaned closer to Naruto to whisper in his ear. Girlfriend. Hee, you brats are very perceptive, Naruto said, just as a fist made contact with his face, sending him flying back into a fence. Konohamaru turned to Sakura, who was now looked like she was ready to kill the 3 kids. How dare you, you ugly bitch. Konohamaru said, pushing his luck too far. Sakura smacked him, leaving just as many lumps on his head as Naruto had gotten. Once the two regained consciousness, Konohamaru still didn't learn his lesson. Damn it. That ugly huge four-headed, is that really a girl? Naruto got a signal from the fox in his head to run as they turned around to see Sakura charging full steam towards them. Ouch, that hurt, Konohamaru said, running into something solid. When he looked up, he saw a ninja in black pants and a black shirt, with a bandaged bundle on his back and paint on his face. Standing next to him was a girl in her mid-teens with blonde hair tied into 4 ponytails. On her back was what looked like a rather large collapsed fan. That hurt, you little brat, the man with the painted face said. All around Konoha, the Jonin were busy training with their teams. As they heard a bird call in the air, they looked up to see a bird summoning them to the Hokage. They all knew what it was for, but they were surprised that it was this soon that they were being summoned by the Hokage. Any Jonin in charge of a genin team assembled in front of the Hokage for his announcement. You've been assembled for only one reason, the third said. As most of you have probably realized, it should be obvious by the people here. It's already that time, Kakashi said. It's already been reported to the other villages. I have seen him enter the village, Genma, a ninja wearing a leaf bandana with a senbon in his mouth said. So when is it? Well, I will announce it properly then, Hiruzen said, standing up. 7 days from now, the Chunin selection exams will begin. First we will hear from those supervising the new genin. Asuma, Kakashi, Kurenai, do you recommend any of your team for the Chunin selection exams? Kakashi stepped forward. The Kakashi-led Team 7, Naruto Uzumaki, Sakura Haruno, Sasuke Uchiha, and Haku Yuki, under the name of Hatake Kakashi, I nominate them for the Chunin selection exams, Kakashi announced. What? Iruka called out. He didn't see his former students as ready for this exam. The Kurenai Team 8, Hinata Hoiga, Kiba Inuzuka, and Shino Aburame, I Kurenai Yuhi nominate all 3 of them for the exam, the Genjutsu mistress said. The Asuma-led Team 10, Shikamaru Nara, Ino Yamanaka, and Chuji Akamaiki, I Asuma Sarutobi nominate all of them for this exam, Asuma announced. How rare. All of them, the Hokage said to himself. Hold on. Iruka shouted out. Hokage-sama, please let me have a word. 9 of these 10 individuals were just recently my students. I know their skills are exceptional, but it is still too early for them to take the exam. They need more experience. Kakashi stepped forward to defend the nominations. Iruka, I was a Chunin when I was 6 years younger than Naruto. Naruto is different than you, Iruka rebutted. Are you trying to crush these kids? Crushing them could be fun, Kakashi said. They are always complaining about missions. I highly doubt that they will even make Chunin this time around, but this will still be a good experience for them. What? Iruka said. You think this is some game for your entertainment? Kakashi laughed a little. That was just a joke, but stay out of this. They are no longer your students. They are my subordinates. Iruka was shut up. The ninja with the face paint grabbed Konohamaru by the collar and lifted him up to face height as Naruto, Sakura, Mogi, and Udon arrived on scene. Let go of me. Konohamaru screamed out as Naruto tried to come to his rescue, only to be held back by Sakura. Hey, you're almost as annoying as this little brat, the ninja said to Naruto. I hate midgets. Especially younger ones that are rude. It makes me want to kill them. Naruto and Sakura looked on in shock. As the ninja wound up for a punch, Naruto ran to save Konohamaru. Before the punch could make contact, the ninja was hit in the face with a rock and a senbon found his hand. Naruto looked up to see Sasuke and Haku on opposite sides of the ally. The ninja dropped Konohamaru. What are you bastards doing in our village? Sasuke called out. He's kind of handsome, the blonde Kunoiki said. Wow, she's pretty hot, the other foreign ninja said looking at Haku. He then turned his attention to Sasuke. Another brat who pisses me off. Naruto was now getting angry because Sasuke had just shown him up. The foreign ninja called Sasuke out, pulling the wrap bundle off of his back. Kankuro, stop it, a voice called out. The ninja stood down as everyone's attention turned to the voice. It was a boy with red hair and a large good on his back. You're an embarrassment to our village. Gargara, Kankuro called out, trying to explain himself. Losing yourself like that, how pathetic. Why do you even think we came to this village? Gaara said. Kankuro tried to open his mouth, but was shut up instantly. Shut up, or I'll kill you. Sasuke looked over at the leader and tried to analyze the newcomer. Before he could, the Gaara disappeared in a cloud of sand and reappeared next to Kankuro. Sorry to you guys, Gaara said, apologizing for Kankuro. I guess we got here too early. Hey wait. You're from Sunagakuru. You may be allies, but it is forbidden for foreign ninja to enter other villages without permission. Why are you here? Sakura asked. Hey, talk about clueless, the blonde ninja said. See my pass. We are here for the upcoming Chunin exams. Chunin exams, Naruto said as everyone's sweat dropped. Wow, you really are clueless, the blonde Kanoiki said. The Chunin exam is where outstanding genin ninja from all over assemble to take an exam to become a Chunin. The main purpose is to maintain power and balance, but countries just use them to show off to one another. Sasuke jumped down from his perch. Hey, what's your name? He asked. Who, me? The blonde Kanoiki asked. No, you with the good, Sasuke said. Gaara of the desert. I am also interested in you, Gaara said. Sasuke Uchiha, Sasuke said. Naruto butted in only to be ignored. Naruto, something feels strange yet familiar about that kid with the good. I can't quite put my paw on it, but I feel like I've felt his energy before, Kurama said to Naruto. Naruto didn't say anything but heeded the demon's advice. How about you? I'm sure a lovely lady like yourself has to have a pretty name, Kankuro said, trying to flirt with Haku. The rest of Team 7 almost face planted into the ground. I'm Haku, and I'm a boy, he said as Kankuro suddenly lost all his words and even received a disturbing glance from the Sand Kanoiki. So what do you think? A figure in the trees said. Well, nothing serious, but that black-haired kid, the boy with the good, and that boy that looks like a girl. Let's keep an eye on 'em, another figure said. Hey, did you hear? Tenten said, tossing another knife into a target. For the first time in 10 years, there are going to be rookies in these Chunin exams. That sounds interesting, Lee said, sitting directly underneath Tenten's target. Rumor is that 4 of them are students of Kakashi. I almost feel sorry for them, Neji said. You're late. Naruto and Sakura yelled at Kakashi, who just appeared on the bridge that he had asked his team to meet on. Sorry, but I got caught up registering you guys for the Chunin exams, Kakashi responded, setting his usual smile to them. What kind of lame excuse? Oh wait, that actually sounds reasonable, Sakura said. Here are our applications. If you are going to take the exams, then come to room 301 at the academy 6 days from now, Kakashi explained. Naruto jumped on top of Kakashi, hugging him for nominating them for the exams. Again, this is just a nomination. Whether or not you want to take them is up to you. Those forms need to be turned in by 4 p.m. tomorrow to the Hokage's Tower if you are going to take them. I'll give you the rest of today and tomorrow to decide. Based on your response we'll go from there. With that, Kakashi left the 4 genin to their thoughts. Chunin exams. There are going to be a lot of strong people in that. Like Gaara and those guys from yesterday, Sasuke said. I might be able to fight them. If I win, then I'll be one step closer to Hokage, Naruto thought to himself, imagining himself on a winner's pedestal and wearing the Hokage's hat. Things could get interesting, Naruto, Kurama said to his host. Yeah, I know. It's about time something exciting happens around here, Naruto responded to the fox. Not exactly what I meant, but yes, thing will get interesting. Okay, so what did you mean? Naruto asked the demon. That Suna boy isn't the only one with chakra that I've felt before. I can't tell you who, but I've felt at least one other familiar chakra source enter this village recently. So what does that mean? Naruto asked. Are there more of your kind here? Maybe. I can't say for sure, but let's just say it's possible. Then what do you think about entering? I want to, as it will put me closer to Hokage, Naruto said, giving the fox a big smile. Like I said, it will be interesting. I say do it as there are a few of the tailed beasts I wouldn't mind seeing again. But then again, there are others I would rather not. So what do you think, Naruto, Haku, Sakura? Sasuke asked his team. I'm definitely in, Naruto exclaimed, giving Sasuke a slight grin. I'll come. If the team needs me, I'm more than happy to help them, Haku said. I don't want to, I can't even keep up with Naruto, Sakura thought to herself, still depressed that Sasuke had told her that her abilities are probably below Naruto. But if I back out, what will Sasuke think of me? Sakura. Sasuke asked, trying to snap his teammate out of it. Huh. Oh, yeah, I'll come, Sakura said, a tone of doubt still in her voice. Team 7 had just turned in their exam forms for the Chunin exams, and it was now about 3 days before the exams would actually start. Already, Naruto had seen ninja from many different villages besides Suna. Currently in the village were also ninja from Kumo, Kusa, Taki, and even some new village known as Otogaku no Sato. Naruto had just left Ichiraku's after his typical early afternoon ramen run when he spotted a few Kumo shinobi walking away from him. He immediately felt the Kyuubi flare up inside. What's wrong? He asked. I think there is a Jinchuriki amongst those Kumo shinobi as well. I can't quite tell which one or which Biju it is, but I'm certain that one of them is a Jinchuriki, said the Kyuubi. So that makes what? 2 others? Asked Naruto. Yeah, like I said, this could get interesting, said the fox. Hey, so who are these other Biju? I know there's you, but you said there are 9 others, right? Asked Naruto. There are 8 others, 9 if you include me. Each of us is distinguished by the number of tails we have. I'll start from the beginning. The Ichibi, Shukaku, is probably my least favorite of all the Biju. He's fucking insane and does nothing but kill. He's also the weakest of all of us, as he only has 1 tail. The Nibi, Matatabi, is also known as the ghost cat. She's actually one of the few Biju that I actually don't mind, and she actually is pretty respectful. The Sanbi, Isabu, looks just like a giant turtle. I don't really care much for him, but I can tolerate him if it wasn't for his incompetence. The Yonbi, Son Goku, is known as the Great Sage Monkey. I don't really like him that much because he keeps thinking he's smarter and better than me, PHFT. The Gobi, Kokuo, is well, we don't really know, said Kurama. What do you mean, don't really know? Asked Naruto. Exactly what I said. All of us resemble some sort of animal, but the Gobi is a mixture of a horse and a dolphin, I think. Anyway, the Rokubi, Saiken, looks like a giant slug. She's almost as bad as the Ichibi when it comes to mindless killing. The Nanabi, Chome, resembles a large beetle and keeps referring to herself as the Lucky 7 Chome. For me, she's tolerable. Then we have the Hachibi, Gyuki. He looks like a cross between a giant ox and octopus. He can be rather stubborn and bashful, and the 2 of us have never seen eye to eye. Lastly you have me, the Kyuubi, and the strongest of all the Biju. Wow, that's amazing, replied Naruto. Later that night, Naruto was walking through the village, on his way home when a figure attacked him out of nowhere. Naruto jumped to the side, just in time to avoid being pelted by a few kunai. The man that attacked him wore a headband indicating that he was part of a Otogaku no Sato. What the hell do you want? Shouted Naruto. Hey, aren't you funny, laughed the ninja. The Chunin exams have no room for a little brat like you. You're better off giving up now. And why would I take advice from the likes of you? You're talking to Konoha's future Hokage. Declared Naruto as he pulled out a kunai and threw it at the attaching ninja. The ninja took his own umbrella from his back and threw it at Naruto. When the kunai and umbrella met, the umbrella turned into dozens of kunai and impaled Naruto. Hey, see you little punk. There's no room in the Chunin exams for you, huh? The Naruto that he had attacked disappeared, revealing itself to be nothing more than a shadow clone. While the ninja was busy looking around to see where Naruto was, he didn't notice the blonde tackle him from above. Hey, are you calling a little punk? You're the one who can't handle the exams, replied Naruto. The ninja disappeared, replacing himself with a rock. Huh, what? Where? Said Naruto, looking frantically for the attacker, who was nowhere to be found. Sakura was walking along praising her luck. Sasuke had actually invited her to take a walk with him. She was busy fawning over Sasuke when Sasuke called out some random ninja. Sasuke attacked the ninja, only to be pelted by a barrage of kunai. Sakura looked on in horror as her precious Sasuke was killed in front of her. Sasuke! She shouted out as she ran to the lifeless body of Sasuke, dropped to her knees and began crying. A few moments passed and her crying turned to laughter. You can stop with the elementary genjutsu no, I've known this was all an illusion, said Sakura, standing up and facing the ninja. Since when would Sasuke ever invite me to take a walk with him? Besides, I also know that you're just an illusion as well. You think I'm just a mere illusion. asked a ticked-off ninja as he threw the umbrella at Sakura. Sakura simply walked straight through the illusion and the ninja merely laughed. I see, but if you continue on with the Chunin exams, this will become a reality. I wonder if you can endure that. With that the ninja disappeared and the illusion was dispelled. Ja, I'm not scared. I'll take them on anytime, shouted Sakura. Sigh, I'm still not sure if I can do it. Sasuke was also having trouble with the same random ninja. Well, it wasn't so much of trouble as he had easily defeated his attacker, more like a nuisance. So how was it? Kakashi asked said troublesome ninja. However, the ninja dispelled his transformation to reveal Iruka. We went through the trouble of having a special preliminary exam for the rookies, and they all passed with ease, said Iruka. As you said, their skills have shown drastic improvement. Well, the actual Chunin exams won't just end at this, but, said Kakashi. Finally, the day came for the Chunin exams. Hey, Hinata, Naruto shouted, coming to the gate of the academy. The poor girl began to turn red, like normal when Naruto expectantly appeared. Are you here for the exams too? Why yes, I am, Hinata managed to get out. Naruto. Sakura called out for him, across the academy courtyard. Oh, sorry Hinata, but it looks like my team is here, Naruto said. It's okay, I think I see my team coming as well, the shy girl said, trying to hide herself from her crush. Good luck. I know you will do great, Naruto said as he ran off to join the rest of his team. He thinks I will do great. Hinata thought to herself. If Naruto thinks I can do it, then I will surely try my best. The truth is that Sakura wasn't the only one doubting her entrance into the exam. Hinata was also questioning why she was there, coming to the conclusion that her team really wanted to take the exam and they needed a third member. Because of that, she decided to join so that they could participate, but if Naruto thought she could do it, then she would do her best. Team 7 arrived to a mass of people standing in front of a door with the room number 301 above it. 2 ninja were guarding the door, preventing anyone from getting through. They then looked at Lee, the kid in the green spandex suit, trying to force his way through, only to get shoved back by the guards. After his teammates picked him up, Lee turned and looked at the 4 rookies that were staring at him. Why don't you just release the genjutsu and let us all pass, Sasuke said to the guards at the door. The 2 were actually impressed that a genin, not to mention a rookie, would figure out their little trick. As Team 7 proceeded to the proper floor, Lee quickly followed. You are Sasuke Uchiha, am I correct? Lee said to Sasuke. I am, what of it? Sasuke responded. I wish to challenge you. I wish to test my skills against the offspring of the powerful Uchiha, Lee said. He then winked at Sakura. You are an angel, I wish to take you out on a date. Ew, never, Sakura said as she bent backwards to avoid Lee's kiss that he had blown towards her, hitting her head against the ground in the process. Frankly, you're a fool, thinking you can challenge me, Sasuke replied to Lee's challenge. You're about to learn what this name means, thick brows. Finally, I will get to test my skills against the number 1 rookie and Guy Sensei will be proud of me, Lee thought to himself. Naruto charged at Lee, thinking that he will take down this guy and show Sasuke his true skills. Lee easily sidestepped Naruto's attack and retaliated with a kick of his own, sending Naruto into the opposing wall. I will say this again, you cannot defeat me. Inside Naruto, the fox was laughing at him for what had just happened. HMPH, this might actually be fun, Sasuke said, realizing that Lee was actually strong. With that, Sasuke attacked Lee. Lee quickly dodged and kicked back at Sasuke. He could not evade the attack and had to resort to blocking the attack. As Lee made a quick hand sign, Sasuke braced himself for some sort of ninjutsu, only to be hit in the stomach by a second kick. What sort of ninjutsu or genjutsu was that? Sasuke thought. That's, Lee said, looking into Sasuke's eyes. The Sharingan. Sasuke charged at Lee, thinking that he would use his eyes to reveal what type of ninjutsu or genjutsu Lee was using. Eee. Sasuke is getting stronger and stronger. Sakura squealed. At that moment, Sasuke got kicked upside the chin by Lee. Quote exclamation mark. He hit Sasuke. Like it was no nothing. What? The Sharingan couldn't read that. Sasuke said in a bit of pain. Yes, my techniques are neither ninjutsu nor genjutsu, Lee stated. Shadow Leaf Dance. Lee appeared behind Sasuke, who was still midair. Yes, Sasuke, my techniques are simply taijutsu. They say the Sharingan can read all sorts of nin, gen, and taijutsu. It is true that you get the advantage in a nin and genjutsu battle by reading and copying your opponent's hand seals, but a taijutsu battle is different. What do you mean? Sasuke asked. Even if you can read my movements, if your body can't move, then it's useless. Lee stated, unwrapping the bandages on his arm. Do you know that amongst strong ninjas, there are two types, the genius and the hard-working types? You are the genius and I am the hard-working type, having mastered only taijutsu. And with this technique, I'll prove that hard work surpasses genius. Out of the corner of his eyes, Lee saw a kunai fly past him with a green cloth attached to it. He stopped his technique, knowing that the fight was now over. That's enough, Lee, a turtle said, appearing in the room. As Sasuke was falling to the ground, Sakura caught him, saving him from a dangerous position that Sasuke had not even bothered recovering from. Looking at him, she saw that Sasuke was shaken with the battle. The turtle spoke again as everyone watched. Lee, that technique is forbidden. What? That turtle can talk. Naruto shouted out as Sakura knocked him over the head. While the turtle was scolding Lee, a man that appeared to be an older replica of Lee appeared on top of the turtle. Team 7 almost passed out, disgusted at the resemblance. They had seen this man once before at Haku and Zabuza's hearing, but they never noticed the creepy resemblance until now. Guy-sensei, Lee called out. Guy punched Lee in the face, probably as punishment for disobeying him. The two clones then proceeded to do something that would leave Team 7 traumatized for a few months. Lee, Guy called out. Guy-sensei. Lee responded. With that, the two hugged, creating an ocean sunset in the background. Being a 1,000-year-old demon, Kurama had seen some pretty disturbing things, but this ranked right up there. I am sorry, sensei. For that, I will do 1,000 laps around the village after the exam, Lee said. Is that even possible? Sakura whispered to her team. Guy turned to the four of them. Hey guys, how is Kakashi doing? Guy asked, winking and giving him a creepy smile. How do you know Kakashi-sensei? Naruto asked. People refer to us as eternal rivals, Guy said. Lee took another look at the group of Kakashi's students, his attention focused to Haku. You look just as lovely as the beautiful Sakura, may I ask you on a date instead? Lee said to Haku, only to make the rest of Team 7 nearly throw up. You do realize I am a boy, don't you? I thought I made that clear when I first came to the village, Haku responded to Lee, whose world was now shattered. Naruto made a mention to Sasuke that Lee must have trained extremely hard, every day after catching a glimpse of his hand and seeing the scars. This only made Sasuke smile. Sounds like this is going to be a fun Chunin exam. Naruto, Sakura, Sasuke, and Haku stepped into room 301, only to find about 200 ninja from various villages, including their own. Out of the ninja in the room, a particular blonde-haired Kunoichi that Sakura knew all too well lashed her arms around Sasuke. Oh Sasuke, you're late, Ino said, blushing and smiling. Get away from Sasuke, Ino pig. Sakura shouted as Naruto and Haku tried to get out of the way of the incoming cat fight. Looking around, Naruto quickly noticed teams 8 and 10. The entire rookie 9 was here. Then the 9 noticed a gray-haired ninja who introduced himself as Kabuto. Hey you guys, quiet down. The last thing you want is to cause a scene, Kabuto told the rookies. Although, I can't blame you. I remember how I was when I was a rookie. So you've taken this test before? Sakura asked the newcomer. Actually, this is my 7th time, since the exam is held twice a year, Kabuto bragged. Wow, so you must know a lot about these exams, Sakura said. Yep, I'll even share some of my info with you, using the nin cards, Kabuto said, whipping out a deck of cards. Is there anyone you want information on? How about Gaara of the Desert and Rock Lee of the Hidden Leaf, Sasuke said, getting in on the action. Let's see. Rock Lee. He's a year older than you and has completed 20D ranks and 12C ranks. His specialty is in taijutsu, with his nin and genjutsu being weak, if not non-existent. This is his first time taking the exams. On his team are Neji Hoiga and Tenten, Kabuto read off. Now Gaara. 8C ranks and WoW, AB rank mission. Since he's a newcomer, I don't have much information on him, but it looks like he has returned from all his missions without even a single scratch. Kabuto then explained that the top genins from the leaf, sand, sound, grass, waterfall, and cloud were here. This wasn't going to be an easy exam. Sakura could see that even Naruto was getting nervous. However, nerves work differently with Naruto. My name is Uzumaki Naruto, and I won't lose to any of you bastards. The blonde-haired genin shouted out, effectively challenging anyone who heard him. Kakashi, who was standing outside the room, heard his student and just smiled, figuring it was about time Naruto did something stupid. Suddenly, a trio of sound ninja jumped out of the crowd and attacked Kabuto. He easily dodges the fist, but was soon hit by another force. As the fight started to escalate, there was a large puff of smoke in the front of the room. "Quiet down, you worthless bastards," the new ninja said as the smoke dissipated. Behind him stood a few dozen Chunin. The man wore a long black trench coat with a leaf bandana. He had a few scars on his face. Most of the leaf ninja knew him as Ibiki, torture and interrogation specialist. "I am Ibiki Morino, the proctor for the first exam. Take your seats now before I decide to start failing people." Nobody doubted him, and suddenly, order was brought back to the room. Ibiki started handing out the tests as Naruto realized that this was a paper test. He was doomed to begin with. "And Naruto, let's do our best, okay?" Hinata said, who was assigned a seat next to Naruto. "Now, I will explain the rules. Questions will not be allowed," Ibiki said as he began to write on the board. "The first rule is that you will start off with 10 points. The test is made up of 10 questions and each question is worth a point. For every question you get wrong, you lose a point. The second rule is that this is a team test. Your entire team will pass or fail based on a combined score of your team. Everyone on Team 7 knew what this meant. They would be pulling Naruto's dead weight. Now, the third rule is that every time you are caught cheating, you will lose 2 points. If you are caught 5 times, your entire team fails. The last rule is that those who lose all their points and those who don't answer any questions correctly, will automatically fail their entire team." Naruto suddenly felt a wave of killing intent directed towards him as the fox began cracking up. "Hey, quiet down in there," Naruto said to the demon. "Unless you are trying to help." "Nope, you're on your own for this one, Kit," Kurama responded, trying to contain his laughter at Naruto's misfortune. "All right, begin," Ibiki announced. The entire room started on the exam, soon realizing it to contain some extremely difficult questions. Sakura, Sasuke, and Haku already turned to look towards Naruto, who was already freaking out. Sakura took a look at the question and realized that she could answer them, although most people in the room probably didn't have the experience or intelligence to do so. Naruto was really freaking out, realizing that the last question would be given 15 minutes prior to the end of the exam and that he couldn't answer any of these questions. Hinata, who had been assigned the seat next to Naruto, couldn't help but worry about him. On the other side of the room, Sasuke, Sakura, and Haku were beginning to understand the true meaning for the test. Due to the difficulty of the test and the presence of the coordinators, it was almost as if they were encouraging cheating. "I see, this is a test to see how well we can gather information by using our skills without getting caught," Sasuke thought to himself. Suddenly, Sasuke saw a mirror of ice form beneath him on the ground. In it he was a hand writing on a piece of paper. The message was pretty clear. "Don't worry about Naruto, I will help him out, Haku," the message read. Sasuke grinned at what Haku was telling him. All around the room, the people who were realizing the objective of this test began to make their move. Shino had released his insects to gather information while Akamaru was being a lookout on Kiba's head and giving him the correct answers. Neji had activated his Byakugan, giving him the ability to see through anyone and look at any test in the room. Hinata was doing the same as her cousin. Sasuke had activated his Sharingan and began copying the movements of someone who looked like they knew what they were doing. Sakura, on the other hand, had the intelligence to solve the questions on her own. As Hinata saw Naruto was panicking, she decided offering him her test so that he may have a chance to pass. However, a kunai passed by their heads, just missing them. "Number 64, you are out. Your team, numbers 21 and 82 are also disqualified," Ibiki said, startling most of the other takers. After that, more and more genin began to fall victim to the test. After seeing that display, Naruto denied Hinata's help even after she mentioned to him that she didn't want him to fail. However, Naruto was not willing to let Hinata get in trouble for him. As Naruto began to start freaking out, he soon felt a chilling sensation around his feet. He looked down to see his feet on top of a sheet of ice. He soon saw Haku's reflection, which disappeared to reveal a message. This test is meant to test your information gathering skills. You are encouraged to cheat. However, you don't have any skills that will be of use for this test, but I do. Just copy the answers that appear on this mirror. I have also been keeping eyes on the proctors to see who has marks and who doesn't. I have not gotten any and neither have you, so we should be fine doing this. Haku, Naruto breathed a sigh of relief as even he began to write stuff down on the exam. Sasuke took a look at Naruto and saw his teammate get to work. Thanks to Haku, they were going to be just fine. Alright, time's up, Ibiki announced. Now for the 10th question. By the time Ibiki stopped the clock, only about 120 of 200 Chunin candidate remained. Everyone who remained looked at Ibiki in anticipation. Now, for the 10th question, there are a few special rules. First, you must decide whether or not you will take it. What do you mean choose? Temari asked. What happens if we chose not to? If you chose not to take it, your points will be reduced to 0 and your team will fail, Ibiki explained. What does that mean? Of course we will take it then. Another test taker stated. If you choose to take the 10th question and answer incorrectly, then you will be banned from ever taking the Chunin selection exams ever again, Ibiki said, silencing everyone in the room. What is up with that stupid rule? There are people in here who have taken this exam before. Kiba said as Akamaru barked along with him. Hee. You guys were unlucky that I'm the proctor this year. My test, my rules, Ibiki said. Hee. I actually kind of like this guy. Any chance he has room for me inside his head? Kurama said jokingly. What the hell is that supposed to mean, you stupid fox? Naruto thought to the fox, only making him laugh harder. However, I will give you a way out. You can choose not to take it and try again next year if you are not confident. Ibiki sent an evil glare to the Chunin candidates. Now, those of you who do not wish to take it, put your hand up and wait for your number to be called. Then you and your team may leave. All around the room, people were thinking on what to do. What do I do? If I fail, I'll be stuck in eternal genin, but if I don't take it, I'm sure Sakura and Sasuke would never forgive me, Naruto thought to himself. I won't take it, a leaf ninja said, standing up. He and his team were immediately escorted out of the room. Over the next 5 minutes, a total of 30 more opted out, leaving 91 genin remaining. Naruto raised his hand, much to the Rookie 9's shock. Then he proceeded to slam it down on his desk as he stood up, a look of determination in his face. Don't underestimate me. I will not run. I will take the question, even if I'm stuck to be a genin forever. He declared. I'll will myself to become Hokage anyways, I don't care if I fail anyways. Hee. I'll give you all one last chance to back out. Your life is riding on this decision, Ibiki said, casting one more wave of fear into the genin. However, Naruto had managed to inspire the entire room. That is an interesting kid, a voice said inside a blonde Kumo Kanoiki's head. Why do I feel like I know him from somewhere? I've seen that stubbornness before. I've seen it many times from Master B, the Kanoiki thought back to the voice. We'll have to be sure to find him in the second stage of the test and see what's so interesting about him. I always like a good game of cat and mouse. That's because you are a cat, the Kanoiki thought back. Hey, no one else. Alright then, good decision. You all passed the first exam. Ibiki announced to the room, shocking most of them. I congratulate the 91 of you, the 30 teams that pass. What? Erupted from all over the room. What do you mean we pass? What about the 10th question? Sakura asked, now confused. Ibiki let out a rare smile. You could say that your choice was the 10th question. Then what was the point of this entire test? Temari asked, being the second hot-headed Kanoiki to lash out. They were not pointless. The first 9 questions already served their purpose to test your information gathering skills. Ibiki explained. This test was designed to put pressure on the entire team as each member would have to not mess it up for their team. However, the questions on this test were much too difficult for most genin to answer alone, so everyone came up to the same conclusion, you would have to cheat to score. This test was designed to make you cheat, but in order to pass, you could not get caught. A few of the candidates got the purpose right away. Now, mixed into the group were a few Chunin who had already taken this exam and knew the answers. This was to help you guys out and to give you accurate information. This is because, Abiki said, removing his bandana, only revealing a bunch of scars covering his entire head. Sometimes, information is more important than life, and on the battlefield people give their lives to acquire such information. Everyone saw the scars and screw holes on Abiki's head and cringed a little at the image. If the enemy notices you, there is no guarantee the information you obtain will be accurate, Abiki stated. Remember this, as accurate information can be a powerful weapon for you and your comrades. This is why we had you gather information through cheating. This clearly separated those who did and did not have the right abilities. Wait, then what about the 10th question? Temari asked. But the 10th question is the true purpose of this test. The take it, or not take it, decision. Abiki paused momentarily. Let's say you become Chunin and your mission is to steal an important enemy document. You don't know the number or skill of the enemy. Do you accept the mission? Because you don't want to die, because you don't want your comrades hurt. Can you avoid this dangerous mission? The answer is no. Abiki let out a slight grin. Those who aren't willing to put their lives on the line. Those who cling to the uncertain future of, there is always next year, and then walk away from their chance. Those pieces of trash who can only make cowardly choices, don't deserve the right to become Chunin. That's how I feel, Abiki said. You have made it through the entrance of the first test, I wish you guys luck. Hell yeah, Naruto shouted out. He's an interesting one all right, Abiki thought to himself. Suddenly, a black bundle came crashing through the window and a black poster was unraveled on the back wall. Out of the bundle crawled a lady with short purple hair in a ponytail and a mesh shirt underneath her jacket. This is no time to be celebrating. It is now time for the second test. I am Anko Mitarashi, the proctor. Now, follow me, Anko said as Abiki face-palmed himself repeatedly. This one is almost Naruto-ish, Sakura thought to herself. Wow, 91. Abiki, you're getting soft. The test was way too easy. Anko said to Abiki. Hey, there are a lot of outstanding ones in this batch, Abiki said. That's fine, Anko said. I'll cut them at least in half by the time I'm done with them. Now I'm getting excited. I'll explain everything once we change places. That will be it for this video. If you want more, comment down below, like, subscribe. And see you guys later.